Hey guys, and welcome back to another part of the playthrough series of Katawa Shoujo. So, on the previous part, I did a run through of the entire introduction. I didn't realize how long it was, and it took what the raw video that I recorded was around 25 minutes. That was way longer than I expected it to be. I don't think this will take as long, but there were several mistakes that I did on the previous part. Firstly, being the face cam covering the dialogue. That was a mistake. Not only that, but it was too long. It was just a tad bit too long. I understand that. It wasn't supposed to go on for 20 minutes, but then I thought since it's really just only the introduction, there aren't really any choices made. I let it be the way it is. There were some rough edits. I didn't do much editing because it really is just the introduction. I could make it better, but that would mean that I will take it. But that would mean it'll take longer for me to edit, and I am editing several things at once. So, to be fair, nobody is really watching it, so I'm just gonna let that slide. But hopefully, this one will be better. I don't know. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. Katawa Shoujo. Nope. I find it weird that the sound effect is a really loud knife or like unsheathing of a sword or some sort. I think that would be fine, alright? So, again, we're back, and this time there's a little bit of difference, yeah? Now we have a picture of us. I already forgot his name. I forgot our name. My name. Hisao. Yes, I remember now. So, let's stop dilly-dallying and just get into it. Dilly-dallying, where did I get that from? Oh no, wait. Whoops. No. I'm supposed to press load. This time, I'm gonna press load. We left off at the first part of the first act, so let's go. The gate looked far too pompous for what it was. In fact, gates in general seem to do that, but this one especially so. Red bricks, black wrought iron, and grey plaster, assembled into a whole that didn't feel welcoming at all. I wondered if it looked like what a gate for a school should look like, but couldn't really decide. Probably no. Of course, I didn't want to get stuck on thinking about the gate for too long, so I entered through it with a brisk pace that felt surprisingly good. Moving forward feels good. So I walked towards the main building of Yamaku Academy with this brisk pace. I'm alone as my parents are taking my stuff to the dorms, and there's supposed to be someone waiting for me. The grounds are incredibly lush, filled with green. It doesn't feel like the kind of grounds a school would have, more like a park, with a clean walkway going past trees and the smell of fresh cut grass, and all other park-like things. Words like clean and hygienic pop into my mind. It makes me shudder. I shake them off. Stay open-minded now. It's your new life, you have to take it as it comes. That's what I tell myself. A few big buildings loom behind the leafy canopies, too big and too many for just a school. Everything seems off. It's different from what I thought I knew about schools. It's an uncanny valley. Even though I was told this is my new school, in the back of my head it doesn't feel like one. I wonder if the feeling is real or caused by my expectations of a school for the disabled. Speaking of that, I don't see anyone else here. It's kinda eerie. It makes me wish there was somebody here so I could anchor myself to something tangible instead of having this feeling that I stepped into another dimension. The trees hum with the wind, and the green hues flashing all around me catch my attention. It makes me think about hospitals again, how they say that the operating rooms are painted green because green is a calming color. So why am I feeling so anxious despite all this greenery? dot dot. Only after I stand in front of the haughty main building, I surprise myself by realizing why the gate bothered me. It was the last chance I had to turn back. Even if I had no life I could return to. But still, after entering, there was absolutely no way I could go back anymore. Feeling nervous and with this realization set in my head, I opened the front door. A tall man with bad postures notices me as I enter. We're the only people in the lobby, so it's only logical. Tall man. He looks kind of old. Let me find a voice for him. You must be Nikki? Nakai.
So you are. Excellent. I'm your homeroom teacher and science teacher. My name is Muto.
I hope I pronounced that right.
Welcome.
We exchange a handshake that is neither firm nor sloppy, and he looks at his watch.
The head nurse asked you for a brief check-in visit, but there's no time for that now.
Oh, should I go later?
Yes, afternoon is probably fine. We should get going and introduce you to the rest of the class. They're waiting already.
Waiting for me? I don't really like being the center of attention, but I guess it's inevitable in a situation like this. Somehow, not knowing what is waiting for me makes me feel really nervous. Thinking of this, I almost miss what the teacher is saying.
Do you want to introduce yourself to the class?
Alright then, my first choice. Do I want to introduce myself to the class? So, I'm going to make Hisao very close to what I'm like. If I were to go into a class, I would most likely introduce myself because I am an introvert, by the way. I am an introvert, but then, you gotta make an appearance. I love attention, so yeah, of course. Yeah, sure, I mean, isn't that normal?
Of course, but not everyone likes to be at the center of attention.
I'm probably one of those people, but I guess I should be the one to give the first impression of myself.
Right, but it's no problem. Let's go then.
My heart is pounding in my chest, and it keeps me thinking about my condition as I follow the teacher up the stairs. The third door down the third floor corridor is marked as the classroom for class 3-3. Muto opens the door and enters.
Good morning, everyone. Sorry I'm late again.
I hesitate for a split second at the door, freezing on the spot. Get a grip. This is a big step, I know that. But there isn't any point to worrying so much about it. At least, not this soon.
I follow the...
my voice. That's me. Wait, give me a moment. Oh, my bad. I follow the teacher into the classroom and look around, partially so I won't have to meet the curious gazes of my new classmates. It's pretty spacious. The ceiling is unusually high and there's lots of space left over around and in between the desks. I butchered that line. An entire wall taken up by blackboards and the high, old-fashioned windows only make it seem larger. The students' desks are just standard wooden desks with a shelf underneath for books and wooden chairs with metal frames, simple and efficient. I stop walking in front of the classroom and face the other students. They all look normal, like students in any other school, but then, why would they be here? They're probably like me, and have something wrong with them. Only, it's just not immediately obvious. Then, I notice that one of the girls seems to be missing the thumb of her right hand. It's a little jarring. Despite the natural tendency to listen when someone's talking about you, I tune out the teacher's speech halfway through while he introduced me to the class. I notice a flash of dark hair and see that someone is looking at me. A girl with really long, straight hair that is pretty eye-catching. As she sees me looking back at her, she covers her face with her hand as if it will make her invisible. There's one boy with a cane leaning against the lockers at the rear of the class. It's weird seeing someone so young with a cane. Another girl seems to be making some weird hand motions. Sign language? She peers at me over the rims of her glasses, then goes back to whatever she's doing. She's kind of cute. So is the cheery looking girl with pink hair sitting next to her. She's really hard to miss. I don't know how I didn't notice her the moment I walked in. Anime logic, am I right?
Please, welcome our newest classmate.
He claps his hand and so does everyone else. Except one girl in the first row who has only one hand. I cringe a little, but hide it by bowing in thanks for this applause I did not deserve. A collective silence tells me that I should open my mouth now. So, I'm Hisao Nakai, and after that, my hobbies are reading and soccer. I hope to get along well with everyone even though I'm a new student. Wait, let me redo that line, that's pretty off. I hope to get along well with everyone even though I'm a new student. And after that, I'm being so boring. This is exactly like every self-introduction ever. I should just say something more exciting. I end up saying nothing and the teacher picks up from there. Everyone seemed to be satisfied even with what little I said though. A few girls are whispering to each other, throwing glances at me. It could have gone worse. I listen to the teacher as he drones about getting along while letting my gaze sweep across the classroom. Everyone seems to be listening to him intently, and when he's done, they clap their hands again. Which feels like a weird thing to do. The first row girl claps on this round, with her one hand against her other wrist. That ends in a bandage stump. Wait, let me read that again. The first row girl claps on this round, with her one hand against her other wrist. That ends in a bandage stump. Ah. Great. It makes me feel a little bad.
We're going to be doing some group work today, so that'll give you a chance to talk with everyone. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, it's fine with me.
That's good. You can work with Hakamichi. She's the class representative. She can explain anything you might want to know. And who else would be able to do that better, right?
How could I know? I wouldn't. The teacher passed out the day's assignments and announces that we will be working in groups of 3. It hits me that I don't know who Hakamichi is. Slow. The teacher seems to catch my helpless expression.
Oh, right. Hakamichi is right there. Shizune Hakamichi.
As he calls out her name, the cute, bubbly-looking girl with bright pink hair and gold eyes waves her hand at me. I take a seat next to her by the window.
First impression. Very kawaii desu.
Hey, I guess you're Hakamichi, right? It's nice to meet you. Bubbly. Oh, I'm going to butcher her voice. Hopefully this doesn't overlap because I know there are several other girls out there. So
crap, that's so off. That's so off.
I'm gonna stick with it. You know what? I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna own it. What? I'm caught off guard by her laughter. It's nice to meet you too, but I'm not Hakamichi. I'm Misha. This is Hakamichi. Shi-chan! Bubbly. Own it. Giggling, Misha points to the girl next to her, the one I saw using sign language before. It looks like she has been staring at me this whole time. She nods one nonchalantly to show that she acknowledges my presence, but only barely. She has short yet carefully neatly brushed hair, a pair of oval-shaped glasses balanced on the tip of a dainty nose, and dark blue eyes that seems to alternate every few seconds between analytical and slightly bored. It's nice to meet you. Is she... No, she's not deaf. I don't think she's deaf. I think what's the... Mute. Is she mute? She immediately looks at Misha, who smiles and makes a few quick gestures with her hands. Hakamichi nods and makes a few gestures of her own. I start to wonder if the teacher was messing with me, saying things like, "You'll be able to talk to people," and "Who better to explain things to you?" Great, funny. I can see you're a little confused, right? But I understand why you would think I was Shi-chan. I mean Shi-chan, right? Shi-chan, yeah. Shi-chan is deaf. She's deaf, not mute. so I'm the person who translates things back and forth for her. I'm like an interpreter. She says it's nice to meet you too. You're the new student, aren't you? Well, Shichan, of course he is. If he wasn't, he would have been standing... If he wasn't, he would have been standing up there for no reason, right? Right! He seems like a very interesting person, doesn't he? We knew there was going to be a new student, but we didn't know you would be here today. So soon. Hichan, right? Hichan? Yep, it fits, doesn't it? Did I say it out loud? It's just a surprise. I've never liked that nickname. I don't really see how. It fits! You look just like I imagined. Haha! Yeah, you look just like a Hichan. Alright. I wonder why everyone seems to think so. Hakamichi taps her fingers on the desk to get Misha's attention. They gesture back and forth to each other excitedly, their hands a blur. Could do some freaking Naruto sign language. Misha seems a little overwhelmed. Haha, sorry about that. Shichan wants you to know that she's the class rep, so if there's anything you need to know, you can feel free to ask her. Do you like the school so far? We can show you around a little if you haven't had the time to walk around and familiarize yourself with it. Misha stumbles with the hard word a bit. So did I. Making it stick out in her otherwise fluid translation. Thanks, that would be pretty helpful. No, that sounds so sarcastic. Let me try that again. Thanks, that would be pretty helpful. Yeah, I just kind of came straight to class today. Hahaha! That's no good. You should always try to learn as much as you can about where you're going before you go there. Not just with school. Not with just school either. Always! Even if it's a trip to the convenience store. Really, Shichan? Haha! I hate this laugh. I'm so sorry. Learn about where you're going? I guess I didn't bother to do that, or just didn't care enough to do so. I didn't look forward to this, even if I committed myself to go along with it half-assedly, but anyways. I don't say anything, and Misha signed something that ends in a shrug. What was that? It seems like it was about me. I feel like slumping over in my seat. Both of them are smiling, but that shrug hit me unexpectedly deeply. You look down. Are you okay? Don't take it the wrong way, please. I hate it when people are afraid to ask questions. That's how people learn things, by asking. Asking for help is perfectly normal, as much as needing help. Stop looking like you just failed a test. Wow, that's... okay, you know what? I'm just gonna say haha, because I can't nail it. Alright. Ah, and another thing. You don't have to call Shichan something so formal like Hakamichi or class rep all the time. Just call her Shichan. Ooh, she's blushing. Blushing. Haha. Okay, maybe that's too casual. Maybe Shizune would be more appropriate. Yep. Shizune's fine. Okay, that would be a lot easier for me. I feel a lot more at ease. Both of them seem so friendly, so I feel like an idiot for being so apprehensive earlier. Especially about Shizune, who I assumed would be all business. Well, she still seems like that, just less so, I guess. Huh? Alright! We haven't even touched the assignment. We should start work now, or Shichan will get mad. The assignment's also kind of long, so we should start now if you want to finish it before the end of class. Haha, that too! Shizune glares at the two of us impatiently. I don't need to know sign language to understand that. Okay, I get the message. After class, we can take a walk around the ground school. Let me repeat that one more time. After class, we can take a walk around the grounds together. It's a nice day today, okay? The assignment is actually very challenging to get through, combining aspects of being both difficult and unnecessarily long, like math. Still, we finished it a few minutes earlier than anyone else in the class, despite our late start. Shizune and Misha are really capable. They're quite different though. The class rep is as calm and professional as she looks, while Misha is a lot more playful and girlish, not to mention a little more easily distracted. To be honest, the two of them did most of the work. I feel guilty about that. The clock tower bells ring, signaling the end of the period. Time for lunch. Without knowing what else to do, I follow Misha, who is beckoning me into the hallway and down the stairs. We descend even below the lobby where I meet Muto, down to the bottom floor. Just like everything in this school, the cafeteria seems too spacious and oddly modern in contrast to the classic exterior. Its big windows open to the courtyard towards the main gate. It's the cafeteria! Oh! Her enthusiastic statement of the obvious makes people around us stare, but Misha doesn't seem to care, so we proceed to the line. There's a rather long list of menu options, which seems great until I realize that many of them are to accommodate students who need special diets. How nice! It almost feels like I'm back at the hospital, eating portions measured with scientific precision to meet the needs of the patients. I pick something at random and follow Shizune to a table, sitting opposite of her. As I nibble indifferently at the food I'd rather not eat, Misha pokes me in the side to get my attention and point to Shizune. I don't understand signs, so the point escapes me. Maybe looking at a person who talks to you is proper and polite? Do you want to know something? What? About anything! We're your guides, so you should ask us if there's anything, if there's something. I wonder. About the library, asked about Shizune's deafness, I think Is it too personal? Right, so when I first meet a person, I don't want to go straight up and ask them about every single thing that there is to know about the other person. I like to lay off a little bit because that's a little too personal for me. Let's just ask about the library. Oh yeah, is there a library in the school? Lately I've gotten into reading a lot, so I'd like to check it out. Misha gives the kind of frown that makes it clear she doesn't consider reading a healthy hobby, but then picks up her smile again. There is! It's in the second floor, we can show it to you sometime. Thanks. I return to my food while the girls talk between themselves. Misha and Shizune sign back and forth very animatedly, throwing sideways glances at me, but Misha refrains from translating. Maybe they're talking about secret girl stuff or something. Ugh, secret girl stuff. I quickly notice the conversation in sign is not enough to fill a silence. Phil. We arrive in the classroom early, but we're not the first. The dark-haired girl I noticed before is slumped over her desk at the last row. She has scars. I don't know if you noticed it, but I'm pretty sure those are scars. She jumps a little when Misha crashed into the room with the elegance of a rhino. She shrinks deeper into her seat. I can feel her tension all the way from here, as if she were slowly turning into stone just from our presence. Misha and Shizune either don't notice or don't mind it, as they walk directly past her to their seats and begin to converse. I'm left wondering about her, even when the classroom slowly fills with other students, and finally, the teacher. Getting to the rhythm of school feels strange. It's as if my brain remembers how this is done, but my body doesn't. Towards the end of the class, I start yawning and counting the minutes left. Relatable. I shouldn't be this tired on my first day of school. Maybe it's the long time spent in the hospital that made me like this. I'm even feeling physically weak and lifeless. Before long, the final bell rings. School is finally over for the day. Beside me, Misha and Shizune are having a short conversation. After a bit of deliberation, Misha turns to me. Unfortunately, we can't stay and show you around today, Hichan. We've gotta hurry already since there's a lot of work for us to do. You'll find your way around here, I'm sure of it. Oh, wait. The teacher said I'd have to see the nurse. Where do I have to go? Is that so? We can at least show you that much. Come on. The nurses have their own building, so we have to go outside. We join the flow of students making their way down the stairwell and outside, with the girls pointing out other senior classrooms in the same hallway as ours. When we got outside, you know, not to be a grammar Nazi or anything, I feel like the grammar here is pretty off. When we got outside, the girls make their way to the smaller building right next to the school. It's built in the same style, so it looks like it's actually a part of the main building. This is the auxiliary building here. I think my voice is getting lower. Let me just. There's a lot of official and important stuff inside, like the Yamaku Foundation office and all the nurses' offices. They even have a swimming pool. How is that official? Don't be silly, Hee-chan. It's for physical therapy, of course. Anyway, all the nursing staff facilities are in there too. The head nurse's office is on the first floor. You'll be fine from here, right? We'll be going then. See you tomorrow. Yeah, thanks. Bye. 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 A whole building for stuff that has nothing to do with actual education? I guess it's necessary for a place like this. I walk in hoping that this really will be only a quick visit like the teacher said. On a white door on the left is a green cross with the text head nurse and a nameplate. A voice from the inside responds to my knock almost immediately, but I can't quite make it out. It sounded a bit like an invitation to open the door, so I invite myself further in. The room is not large, and it smells strange. A friendly-looking man turns around on his office chair to face me as I enter. His desk is neat and tidy, but the bin under the table is overflowing with used medical utensils, and there are at least a dozen coffee cup rings lingering on the desk. Smiling man. It's a guy. Okay. Finally. He looks pretty young, so let me just give him a slightly higher voice. Hello there! What can I do for you today? He is young looking and sort of rugged, but the dimples in his cheeks wash that impression away when he smiles. Are you the nurse? He smells like a person who has heard this very same question hundreds of times. Why, yes, I am. It says so on the door, no? You can call me by my name or just the nurse, like everyone else. Of course, I shake off my confusion, realizing I probably should grab his extended hand. His handshake is rather firm and friendly. Right, I'm a new student and my homeroom teacher told me to come and meet you. My name is Hisao Nakai. His eyes lit up with revelation and he snaps his fingers. Oh, you're that Nakai! I was just reading your file in the morning. Some kind of chronic arrhythmia and related congenital heart muscle deficiency, right? He gestures me to sit down in a vacant armchair in front of the desk. Yeah. Good. Well, you've probably been briefed about the school enough, so I'll just go over this quickly. We have all kinds of facilities available, mostly physical therapy and such. There's always someone from my staff around, even at night, so never hesitate to call us if there's a problem. The famous 24-hour nursing staff. Wow, this is like a hospital. Well, not exactly. For instance, we don't do brain surgery here. His joke feels so out of place that I'm left thinking why he even said it. Yeah, just that it's really weird to have so many medical people at a school. You'll get used to it. I'm not sure of that myself, but I don't let the nurse know it. Now, let me just find your file again. While he searches for something from his computer and shovels stacks of papers around, I let my gaze wander around the room. It's the epitome of generic, I'd like to say. Beige walls and ceiling, dark gray laminate flooring, and all the equipment you'd expect from a school nurse's office. Even the ridiculous educational posters are hanging on all four walls, reminding me to eat properly 3 times a day and from all the food groups. Smiling, the nurse draws a thick file from a stack of similarly thick files and open it. So you already have medication for the arrhythmia. Just remember to take your pills every morning and evening or it won't be much help. Apart from that, do you do any sports? Rash stuff like, I don't know, boxing? He grins to his own joke, but I don't. Well, I played soccer occasionally with some classmates. Alright, I'm afraid I'm going to have to recommend you refrain from doing that, at least for the time being. Oh. My lack of reaction makes him raise an eyebrow, but really, I'm not too bothered by him forbidding me to kick the ball around. I guess I never did it out of burning passion for the sport, just to have something to do. Any kind of concussion might be very dangerous to your heart, and risking another attack is not a good idea. Was the previous one caused by a sudden concussion to the chest area? There is no mention of the cause in your paper. Not exactly. I size up the question acceptably, and he glances at me over his papers with a more serious expression on his face. Still, you need to keep your body healthy, so some exercise would do you good. We have physical therapy and such available, as I said, but I don't think you really need such heavy measures. Just get some light exercise regularly. Brisk walks or even light jogging, jumping rope, that sort of thing, swimming maybe. There's a pool here. So I was told. You were? Very good. At any rate, and I'm sure you've been told this before, you just need to take care not to overexert yourself. He wags his finger to emphasize this point. No need really, I've heard this 1,000 times already. Absolutely no unnecessary risk. Take care of yourself. Okay. He goes over my papers one more time and sets them on the desk, obviously content. Good, that's it then. Come meet me if you ever need something. I mustered out before I even realized it. A quick visit, indeed. I end up standing in front of the main building and the auxiliary building, although to my eyes they still look like one and the same. It's the first real look I get at the other students, so I watch people coming out of the school going towards the gate or the dorms. Everyone seems to know where they are going, and I still keep thinking that most of them don't look too special for being students at a special school. Then again, neither do I. Does that make me one of them? One of us? I should go somewhere to prevent me from getting lost. It's around dinner time, but I feel tired instead of hungry. The wariness in me only grows as I trudge towards the dorm, set a little way apart from the main building complex. There's a garden of sorts between the school and the dorms, shrubbery, flowers, and that overbearing smell of fresh cut grass that fills the atmosphere. It dawns on my tired mind that the smell feels novel, because I haven't been outside at all for so long. The dorm building is big and made of red brick. Like the others, it feels way too pompous for what it is, so I push forward, going inside. It takes more time than necessary to fish out the key I was given from my pocket. Room 119. Despite the ornate exterior, the inside of the dorm is fairly functional and boring. Just like in the main building, the halls and doors are wide to accommodate wheelchairs. The same goes for the elevators at the ends of the hallways. I poke my head around the corner of the common room door. Inside, a few students are watching the television. One nods and gives a quick hello before turning back to the TV. Seems that only the girls around here are sociable. I suppose that's perfectly fine with me. I climb the stairs to the upper floor. Here, small corridors branch off from the main hallway. Each of these minor halls seems to have a toilet and shower, as well as 4 rooms. About halfway down the hall, I spy room 119. The nameplates on the room adjacent to mine are blank. I guess there are just 2 of us here. Light shines from below the door of room 117, so I knock lightly. Hello, is anyone home? From inside I hear a few movements, then a clicking of way more locks than I thought these doors had. After a moment, the door squeaks open. A bespectacled boy is standing in the doorway. He's looking at me very intently through his extremely thick eyeglasses. Oh, let me give this guy a nasally voice. Just give it all to. Who is it? Blind? No, at least not completely. Why would he have eyeglasses if he was? He leans closer to me until our noses are almost touching. His breath stinks of garlic. Hisao Nakai. I'm moving into the next room. I thought I should introduce mine. His face suddenly brightens in realization, and he stands back upright, thrusting his hand out in smiling greeting, almost straight to my diaphragm. Oh, sup, dude? The name's Kenji. Hi. I take Kenji's sweaty hand and shake it, still a little rattled by the sudden change of attitude and vehement welcome. There were some suspicious looking people going in and out of your room earlier. It was probably my parents. Your parents? You sure? Because they could have been some other people too. You can't judge a book by its cover. His out-of-place proverb is left hanging between us awkwardly as I try to think of some way to respond. I'd say the chances are high enough. He shudders and makes some exaggerated hand gestures. Yeah. You're a brave man, Hisao. Me, I don't think I could trust the chances. The only one I trust is myself. Does that mean I shouldn't get to know you either? He thinks about this for a while. Wise decision. Damn, you are smarter than you look. Probably. What do you look like? I hope not smart. He squints his eyes and leans closer again, but I lean backwards to dodge it. Never mind, it doesn't matter. With that, he turns, fumbles around for a moment in search of the door handle, and shuts the door behind him. I slide the key into the lock of the door marked 119. Bleak beige walls, white linen, a desk made of some type of light wood, ugly curtains. It's no one's room, impersonal, like my hospital room was. My bags are sitting at the front of my bed, looking at a lot emptier than they did this morning. The closet is sitting open, stocked with my clothes. Also, it seems that there are a number of school uniforms hanging there as well. A note is pinned to the sleeve of one of my shirts. Hi, Hichan. We've unpacked your things and made your bed. They said that if these don't fit, then you should go to the office tomorrow. If you have any problems, you can always call us. Love, Mom and Dad. Aw, that's cute. Well, at least I don't have to worry about unpacking. I kind of hoped I would have, then there would be something to do. Still too early. I put the note down on the desktop and lie down on the bed, feeling drained. Lying there makes me want to read something, but I have nothing with me. I wonder if the hospital conditioned me for wanting to read whenever I have nothing to do. The restless urge just keeps growing until I have to stand up. Maybe it's stress or something. I was pretty nervous about it before coming and for the entire day today too. I still am, I think. Damn, I have to distract myself somehow so I won't be this unnatural all the time. Tomorrow I'll go borrow some books from the library. Yeah, I'll do that. But for now, the bottles of medications neatly arranged on my night table catch my eye. I pick up one and shake it just to hear the contents rattle inside, and then read the glued on pharmacy label. Hisao Nakai, 2 tablets daily to stay alive. That's grim. It doesn't really say that, but it could just as well. It's kinda twisted having your life depend on chemicals like this. I resent it a little, but what choice do I have? With a sigh, I begin my new daily ritual of taking the right number of pills from each bottle, being careful to check the correct dosages. I lie down again, feeling hollow and uncertain, and after that I keep staring at the blank, unfamiliar ceiling for a long time. It doesn't start looking any more familiar, not even after darkness falls and long shadows draws across my room like fingers. The sheets feel slightly more comfortable, warm and nest-like against the chill that passes for room temperature here. Soon the lighter shade of darkness that is the ceiling looks like every ceiling does at night, and it becomes the only thing I recognize anymore. The night beckons me to sleep, and I feel the coldness of unfamiliarity, and fear creeping up my spine once again. I keep drifting further away from the world I knew. Is that it? Oh, that's it. Wait. Is this a new day or is this a new act? It's a new day. And you know what? I'm gonna stop there because I was planning on recording for 15 minutes, but instead I recorded for 14 minutes, including the mess up that happened earlier. So, again, not that eventful so far, but you know, it's building up to it. I really like the dialogue. Again, it in a way it's very similar to how I would narrate my own life. I'm weird like that where I actually narrate when I just do certain things because I have lots of thoughts inside my head. Whatever. But so far out of the 3 that we've met, I'm not gonna lie, I'm very interested in the girl with the scars. Cause I should I say it? I have a thing for shy people and I am drawn to it, and it's exactly the same here. So we'll see how things go, if there's any other girls that I can actually meet, because again, this is a dating sim. Hopefully it gets more eventful next time. Until then, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye bye.